Urine formation. Urine is formed in the Bowman's capsule. Urine formation involves three main processes. 1. Glomerular filtration. 2. Reabsorption. 3. Secretion that takes place in different parts of the nephron. Filtration is carried by glomerulus and is called glomerular filtration. The glomerular capillary blood pressure causes filtration of blood through three layers. 1. Endothelium of glomerular blood vessels. 2. Epithelium of Bowman's capsule. And 3. Basement membrane between these two layers. The epithelial cells of Bowman's capsule, called podocytes, one arranged in an intricate manner so as to leave some minute spaces called slit pores. When the blood flows through the capillaries in the glomerulus, it gets filtered through the pores in the walls of capillaries. All the water-soluble, small molecular weight substances such as salts, glucose, amino acids, along with nitrogenous wastes, are filtered from blood. Blood cells and proteins are not filtered through the pores present in the capillary walls. This filtration is called ultrafiltration. On an average, 1100 to 1200 ml of blood is filtered by the kidneys per minute. Approximately 120 milliliters of urine is formed in the kidney per minute. In 24 hours, about 175 liters of urine is formed. However, all this is not excreted. Only 1 or 2 liters of urine is excreted, and the rest of it is reabsorbed into the body. The amount of filtrate formed by the kidneys per minute is called glomerular filtration rate, GFR. GFR is a healthy individual is approximately 125 milliliters per minute, that is 180 milliliters per day. The kidneys have built-in mechanism for regulation of glomerular filtration rate. One such efficient mechanism is carried out by juxtaglomerular apparatus, JGA. It is a special sensitive region formed by cellular modifications in the distal convoluted tubule and the efferent arteriole at the location of their contact. A fall in GFR can activate the JG cells to release renin, which can stimulate the glomerular blood flow and thereby the GFR back to normal. Secretion. During urine formation, the tubular cells secrete substances like H+, K+, and ammonia into the filtrate. Tubular secretion is also an important step in urine formation as it helps in the maintenance of ionic and acid-base balance of body fluids. The comparison of the volume of the filtrate formed per day, 180 liters per day, to that of urine released, 1.5 liters, suggests that 99% of filtrate has to be reabsorbed by the renal tubules. This process is called reabsorption. The reabsorption of the urine produced by Bowman's capsule takes place in the tubular portion. When the filtrate reaches the proximal convoluted tubule, the epithelial cells of the tubule reabsorb several substances in a selective manner and transport them back to blood. They perform this either by passive or active mechanism. Example: glucose amino acids, Na+, etc. in the filtrate are reabsorbed actively, whereas nitrogenous waste are absorbed by passive transport. Reabsorption of water also occurs passively in the initial segments of the nephron in loop of Henle and in distal convoluted tubule. Unabsorbed substances along with water enter the collecting duct which discharges urine into pelvis and then into ureter. Urine is produced continuously and is concentrated continuously. This reaches pelvis and is excreted. Smooth muscles, involuntary muscles in the wall of ureter produce peristaltic movements which propel urine into the urinary bladder. The urinary bladder is a muscular sac and opens to the outside through urethra. At the junction of bladder and urethra is a sphincter. Urination is a reflex action, but in elders it is voluntary. In children, urination is an involuntary action. Normally, when about 200 to 300 milliliters of urine reaches the bladder, the muscles in its wall contract and relax, expelling urine. Functions of the tubules. 1. Proximal convoluted tubule. 1. Is lined by simple cuboidal brush border epithelium which increases the surface area for reabsorption. 70 to 80% of electrolytes and water are reabsorbed by this segment. 2. It helps to maintain the pH and ionic balance of body fluids by selective secretion of H+, NH3, and K+ ions into the filtrate and by absorption of HCl3- from it. 2. Henle's loop maintains high osmolarity of medullary and interstitial fluid. The descending limb is permeable to water but impermeable to electrolytes. This concentrates the filtrate as it moves down. The ascending limb is impermeable to water but allows transport of electrolytes actively or passively. Therefore, as the concentrated filtrate passes upward, it gets diluted due to the passage of electrolytes due to the medullary fluid. Distal convoluted tubule. 1. Conditional reabsorption of Na+ and water takes place in this segment. It is also capable of reabsorption of bicarbonate, HCl3-. 2. Selective secretion of hydrogen H and potassium K+ and ammonia NH3 to maintain pH and sodium Na, potassium K, balance in blood. Collecting duct. 1. Large amount of water could be reabsorbed to produce concentrated urine. 2. It allows passage of small amounts of urea into medullary interstitium to keep up osmolarity. 3. It plays a role in the maintenance of pH and ionic balance of blood by selective secretion of H+ and K+ ions.